Signs of porn addiction. I'm Dr. Trish Leigh, cognitive neuroscientist and sex addiction recovery coach. Okay, in this video, let's talk about the 7 top signs that you may struggle with problematic pornography consumption. Okay, number 1, you spend time and energy and cha-ching money on your porn habit. So if you invest a lot of time, a lot of your energy, and especially if you're dedicating your dinero to porn, it might be a problem. Okay, number 2 is you are using porn for mood regulation. And what that means is that you are using it to decrease your anxiety and to decrease or stave off boredom. We know from the science the 2 main uses of porn and the reason why and the motivational factors are stress, number 1, big time, and boredom. So if you are using porn for stress or boredom, it might be something you are dependent upon. Okay, number 3, you forego sex. You are no longer really that interested in intimacy because it requires you to be vulnerable, especially if it is sex with a partner that should be loving and with connection, because your brain has been trained for massive amounts of pleasure seeking. So there's a dichotomy. You can't get it from your sex life anymore. So what happens is your brain wants to go back into the screen for more of that heightened pleasure. Okay, number 4 is you have cravings, urges, or you think or fantasize about porn. So if you're spending a lot of time mentally on porn, this could be a problem for you. And we know that the brain wants to follow the reward. So if you're rewarding your brain with consistent and frequent porn use, and it's getting this massive dopamine deluge, it is going to follow that trail. And so that can be another sign. If you think about porn or sex a lot, it may be a problem. Which leads to number 5 is you lose attraction to your partner. And we know the way that this shows up is that you actually are less satisfied with the appearance of your partner. You are less satisfied with your partner in general and especially sexually. So if you are having some strain in your relationship, and especially if there's issues in the bedroom, porn may be a problem. And I know so many people don't even link porn use to the problems in their relationship. But we know that when porn use is in the mix, divorce and breakups go up by more than 50%, and cheating goes up by 300%. So if you are struggling with relationship problems, which we are going to talk about in a future video, know that porn might be a problem for you. Okay, so number 6 is if you find that you're distracted, it's difficult for you to focus and to think. If your motivation has decreased, this may be another indicator, another sign that you have a problem with porn. And again, I've explained it in one of the last videos, is that if you've trained your brain to go into the screen for this massive dopamine deluge, supernormal stimulus, more than you could get anywhere in the real world, your brain learns that there's no dopamine in the world. There's not enough. It's all in the screen. So then it becomes difficult to think, because that dopamine flood is literally flooding your brain out and knocking out functioning in the frontal lobe. And at the same time, it's increasing cortisol, the stress neurotransmitter. So your life and the motivation to get into the world decreases because there's not enough dopamine there. And there's only cortisol, which makes your life more stressful. And we know another piece to mood regulation and to this aspect is anger. So if you see that you have an increase in anger and you're not really sure why you feel angry and irritable, I call it Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. If you feel like, or if people notice in you and say, "What's up? You're swinging high and low. Sometimes you're angry. Sometimes you're nice. I never know which version of you to expect." Porn could be at the root of that, because we know anger and irritability go up, defensiveness goes up, and perceived attack goes up. So if you perceive any of that stuff, please know that you might have a problem with porn. And number 7, you can't stop. If you want to know if you have a porn problem, try to stop watching it and commit. Say, I'm not going to watch this thing, and then try to see if you can do it without withdrawal symptoms. Withdrawal symptoms are flatline. We're going to get to it in another video, but flat line where you just feel meh and you have no sexual desire and your motivation goes even lower, or you may feel more moody, or you may feel even more sexual and more cravings and urges. So try to stop, and that will be a really easy way for you to know if you have a problem with porn. Okay, so those are your porn addiction signs. Follow me through to the next video. Remember, if you need help on this journey, because many people do, go over to drtrishleigh.com. Check out the programs that I have to offer. There's many at different investment levels, time, energy, and money. So go see if there's something that might be a good fit for you. And if you're interested in taking this cause upstream with me, consider donating at pornbrainprevention.org so we can stop the next generation that's already deep in this porn thing. 85% of young men watch porn, 57% of young women. This is a problem for you and for me and for our kids. So help the cause with me if you're inspired. And remember, control your brain or it'll control you.